A 190-pound Bullmastiff had been passed over by 38 families. Then, an 18-month-old girl who hadn't made a sound in 11 months crawled across a shelter floor to his kennel and touched his nose through the bars. A 190-pound Bullmastiff sat in a shelter for 487 days. 38 families walked past his kennel. Every single one said the same thing: too big, too scary, too much. But then, a little boy showed his baby sister something on a tablet screen, and what she did next led a family straight to the dog nobody wanted. His name was Duke, 190 pounds of wrinkled gold, with eyes so deep that grown men looked away first. He had been surrendered to the Maplewood County shelter outside of Cincinnati when his original owner lost his home. The intake form said gentle. The shelter workers said unadoptable, because when families saw that massive frame pressed against the kennel door, they didn't see gentle, they saw a wall. 38 families came. 38 families left without him. The shelter kept count. After the 15th family, Duke stopped wagging his tail when people approached. After the 25th, he stopped standing up. By the time the 38th family walked past without slowing down, Duke had his enormous head resting on his front paws, facing the corner wall, a dog that had given up on being chosen. Mark and Laura weren't looking for a dog. 16 months of sleepless nights had done what exhaustion always does to a marriage, turned two people who loved each other into two strangers sharing a hallway. Their son, Caleb, was 6 years old, curious and loud and full of energy. Their daughter, Mila, was 18 months old, and for the past 11 months, Mila had not made a single sound. Not a word, not a babble, not even a cry when she fell. The specialist called it selective mutism. Laura called it the loneliest silence she had ever lived inside. One morning, Mila had been giggling in her high chair. The next morning, nothing. No explanation, no warning, just silence. Laura had stopped working to stay home with her. Mark was covering every bill alone. They passed each other in the kitchen without speaking, two people drowning quietly in the same house. It was Caleb who started it. He had been lying on the living room floor one afternoon, tablet propped against a pillow, watching animal videos. Laura was folding laundry nearby, half watching. Then Caleb called out, "Mom, look at this dog." On the screen, a massive, wrinkled Bullmastiff was lumbering across a yard, tail swinging like a pendulum. Mila was sitting in Laura's lap, and Mila lost her mind. Both arms shot straight up into the air. She started bouncing, slapping her palms together, making a sound, a real sound, urgent and excited, pointing at the screen with one small finger. It lasted maybe 10 seconds. Then it stopped, and the silence came back. But Caleb had seen it. He sat up straight and stared at his sister. Then he looked at his mother. "Mom," he said quietly, "she only does that when there's a dog." Laura set the laundry down. That evening, she mentioned it to Mark. He pulled up 3 more videos on his phone: a German Shepherd, a Golden Retriever, a Labrador. Mila watched each one politely, completely still. Then he played a video of a Bullmastiff. Mila grabbed the phone with both hands and pressed her face against the screen. Mark looked at Laura across the couch. Neither of them said anything for a long moment. "We should take her to the shelter," Caleb said in the doorway, in the matter-of-fact way that only a 6-year-old can deliver a life-changing suggestion. They went on a Saturday morning. I see you still haven't subscribed. That honestly breaks my heart. Stories like this need your support to reach more people. Hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Laura carried Mila on her hip the whole way through the shelter. Caleb walked beside Mark, peering into each kennel with wide eyes. Beagles, Labradors, a pair of nervous terriers. Mila watched everything calmly, her head resting on Laura's shoulder, completely unmoved. Then they turned the corner into the large breed wing. The smell of the concrete was different here. The kennels were bigger, and at the very end of the row, barely visible in the dim light, was a massive golden shape pressed into the back corner. Mila started before they were even close. It began as a squirm, the kind of restless shifting that meant she wanted down. Laura tightened her grip instinctively. Mila pushed harder, both legs kicking, her whole small body twisting toward the end of the corridor. Then she started to cry. Not the tired cry, not the hungry cry, something more urgent than either of those. A sound that went straight through Laura's chest. Mark stopped walking. "What is she?" "She wants down," Caleb said simply. Laura looked at her daughter's face. Mila's eyes were fixed on the last kennel at the end of the row, fixed and certain, in a way that an 18-month-old's eyes almost never are. Laura felt something move through her that she couldn't name. She knelt down slowly and set Mila on the concrete floor. Mila crawled, fast, determined, both palms slapping the floor, her eyes never leaving that last kennel. Caleb jogged to keep up. Mark and Laura followed without speaking because there was nothing to say. At the end of the row, Mila stopped. She pulled herself up against the kennel bars with both small fists and stood there, unsteady on her feet, staring through the metal. Inside, Duke lifted his head. For a moment, neither of them moved. A 190-pound dog and an 18-month-old girl studying each other through a chain-link door. Then Duke stood up, slowly, like a machine remembering how, walked across the kennel and lowered his enormous, wrinkled face to the bars. Mila reached one small hand through the gap and touched his nose. Duke closed his eyes. Laura made a sound she hadn't made in 11 months. Mark put his hand on her back and left it there. "Dad," Caleb said quietly, tugging Mark's sleeve. "That's the one." They signed the papers that afternoon. The first week was chaos. Duke knocked a floor lamp over with his tail on day 1. He tried to sit on the coffee table. He drank from the toilet and flooded the bathroom. But around Mila, he moved like he was made of something careful. When she fell asleep on the living room rug, he lay down 6 inches away and didn't move until she woke up. 3 weeks after Duke came home, Mila said her first word in 11 months. She said it to him, "Duke." Laura sank to the kitchen floor and stayed there for a long time. Mark stood over them both and couldn't speak. Caleb said, "I told you, that was the one." Her words came back slowly after that, then all at once. 38 families said he was too much. One 18-month-old girl crawled across a concrete floor to tell them they were wrong. Have you ever seen an animal reach someone that nobody else could? Tell me in the comments.